Good morning and welcome to the Coffee Agenda. I'm your host, Josie Hingst, and these are my co-hosts, Sarah Parkin and Melanie Stevens. Grab a coffee, get comfy as we delve into today's agenda.
We have a great show lined up for you all today. We will explore some incredible organisations that are leading the way for female empowerment through their local events.
And other current topics such as the rental crisis plaguing the Gold Coast, the ongoing impact of COVID-19 in various sectors, and op shops fighting against textile waste. And of course, we won't forget to let you all know what's happening right now on the Gold Coast.
Now ladies, let's have a little catch up. Tell me about your weekends.
I had a really nice weekend. I went to the movies and I saw A Quiet Place 2, the sequel to A Quiet Place, directed by John Krasinski. And his wife was in it, Emily Blunt, with Cillian Murphy. And it was just an incredible dynamic of actors. They just understood each other and really a family unit. And the amazing thing about this film is that it emphasises the necessity of family and keeping close, and especially in these times, that's the message we need. And I think it's come at a really good time, even with all its delays. And yeah, I loved it, and I recommend anyone to go catch it. I saw it at Event Cinemas. It was really nice, gold class, very, very fancy. Yeah, I went to the movies, had a lovely lunch, really relaxed this weekend, which is, I think, what we all need to do at the moment.
Wow. That sounds really nice. Yeah, I went on a hike to Springbrook National Park with some of my friends. We explored the rock pools and just got out and got some fresh air, which also is needed in these times. Yeah. So what did you get up to, Mel?
I was lucky enough to attend my friend's engagement party at Miss Moneypenny's on Broad Beach, and it was gorgeous. She said yes, so it was a beautiful weekend.
Oh, lovely. So now, lots has happened over the weekend. So let's catch you all up and bring you up to speed with what's happening in the news.
Calls to accelerate the vaccine rollout around the country has intensified. The recent COVID-19 outbreak in Victoria has sparked conversations regarding the vaccine rollout. Multiple aged care homes are now linked to the outbreak, which has put providers in other states on edge. The rollout of the vaccine has accelerated in Victoria. However, aged care providers and advocates are warning that other states should not be forgotten. The efforts to ensure residents and aged care staff are vaccinated are extensive as infection numbers continue to climb. The CEO of Aged and Disability Advocacy Australia, Jeff Rowe, says a more structured rollout within the aged care community would give more confidence that the vaccinations are currently occurring. Currently, it is not mandatory to be vaccinated, although the federal government are reviewing this. If you are visiting an aged care facility, ensure you have the appropriate vaccines to minimise the threat of these outbreaks happening in our vulnerable aged care communities. Townsville has officially been named as the new host of the State of Origin opening match after the MCG was ruled out due to a COVID outbreak in Victoria. The match is set for June 9th and is expected to inject about $5 million into the local economy. NRL Chief Executive Andrew Abdo said the league's absolute priority was ensuring the continuity of the competition and major events. Townsville has the lowest risk of a COVID outbreak impacting the game and the least financial fallout of the available venues, he said. Townsville is also a new, state-of-the-art venue with the capabilities to host an event with a global audience like Origin, placing it ahead of alternate regional locations. This is the first time since 1987 a State of Origin game has been played outside an Australian state capital city. Capacity for the game will swell to 27,327, with an extra 1,872 seats added to create a mini cauldron. And that's it for the news bulletins. Now let's get back into the show.
So Sarah, tell us some of these organisations helping the young women of the Gold Coast.
Well, there have been some great organisations such as Support the Girls, Share the Dignity and Someone. Their recent events have promoted connectivity, proving to us all that we are not alone and there are organisations out there who can help.
We now have a video to show you more about Support the Girls and the incredible work they are doing helping disadvantaged women.
Support the Girls is an organisation that is committed to creating a safe space for women to come to. We do this through our bra gifting events. The events facilitate health and well-being in women. Not only does it ensure that women have dignity and that their needs are met with regards to undergarments, as in being professionally fitted with a bra and obviously provided with new underwear and toiletries, but it also is an opportunity for us to check on women's well-being, check on their mental health, but also just give them an opportunity to engage and connect with other women, which is really important.
What we do is with our events and things like that, we not only give bras to the ladies and what have you, but we have conversations. We sit and have conversation with them.
The importance of us helping women that are facing domestic violence, and specifically in domestic violence shelters, is that more often than not they have fled their environment that they were in. Quite often they will flee those environments just in their pajamas.
They've never had any stability. They lose all their belongings as they go. So once they arrive here, their belongings are very few and far between. They have no idea where any of their furniture is, where all their clothing is. So just a few simple things like bra and undies or a dressing gown is just an amazing gift for them.
We like it when people contact us and say, are you able to come back, because the ladies really enjoyed the day, and they got lovely bras and underwear and toiletries, and it's great to help. It's what we do.
Yeah. And today, having the ladies here to support them, a lot of our ladies just don't have a bra. They will come wearing bikini tops. That's very common, is the bikini top or nothing.
Support the Girls events are absolutely vital. The service that we provide is unique. There is nobody else that does what we do. Organising a bra gifting event takes an enormous amount of work behind the scenes. We're looking at probably at least a good 12 to 15 hours in total to actually put an event together. So it's an enormous amount of work, and it takes commitment from our beautiful volunteers who all help to put it together, but it's worth it to be able to make a difference in women's lives.
I just rang Jane. I asked her when she was available. She gave me a date, and here you are.
What an amazing organisation.
Yeah, they're doing some incredible work for the community. And if you want to help out, Support the Girls are hosting a bra gifting event at the Southport Community Centre on Wednesday, June 9th. It's an awesome event which allows women to connect and receive the support they deserve. Head to www.supportthegirls.com.au to see where you can drop off important resources to help our Gold Coast women out.
Another charity giving dignity back to women is Share the Dignity. They held their annual Dignity on May 28th in celebration and recognition of World Menstrual Hygiene Day.
This event usually raises over $450,000 and brings together over 5,000 women to have a fun and entertaining afternoon to make a difference for those doing it tough.
The purpose of the Dignity was always for us to shine a light on the work that Share the Dignity does. We spend so much of the year preparing to gather the donations and get them out to charities in need. On this Dignity that we hold, we normally have a woman from one of the charities that we work with, and a woman that's actually received a bag or received help from period products or the vending machines to talk to the audience on what it meant for her to have the help of Share the Dignity. It's a really impactful day to show the difference that Share the Dignity makes in the community. I'd hate to see where we would be in Australia without the work that Share the Dignity has done today. The first Dignity came about when I met with Dr. Danny Barrington, who has a PhD in world menstrual health. Of course she does, right? But when I met with her in, I think it was May 2015, I had just started the charity, and I met with her, and she was one of our first board directors. She told me there was this specific day called World Menstrual Hygiene Day. It was the 28th of May. And straight away I went, we're going to claim that day as our Share the Dignity Day. And right there and then I started planning for the very first Dignity However, I didn't go out with one dignity. That first year that we did them, we had 8. So it was pretty remarkable. We now have 12 around Australia. COVID stopped us in our tracks last year where we cancelled them, and we've obviously cancelled them for this year. We do have one promo one happening in Brisbane where we already have 230 people who'll be attending on World Menstrual Hygiene Day, the 28th of May. I think it's really important that people feel encouraged to host their own dignity. So whether you're getting together, just you and your bestie, or you're getting together 10 friends or a group of people at work, it's really important to host your own dignity and talk about the problems around period poverty, to talk about the problems that women are faced with domestic violence, opening up the conversations and raising awareness and funds.
You can still donate to Share the Dignity by visiting their website at sharethedignity.org.au.
Someone is a social enterprise which is using their space to help fund their charity, Healed Tribe, which focuses on the mental well-being of our youth on the Gold Coast. Let's watch a video now which will show Megan, the founder, talking about both of her organisations.
So hi and welcome to Someone. This is our space. So this place is called Someone. What that means is the sum of us coming together to support the one in need. So the space here kind of plays 2 roles. We are a beautiful wellbeing space just for the general community. So we have people come in for all sorts of services. But this place also operates to support young people who are suffering with mental health concerns. So we bring young people through Healed Tribe, our charity, into this space for connection with natural healing modalities as well. We run workshops, so there's often yoga and mentoring sessions for young people that run out of here. We'll run retreat days. We have sound healings and group meditations. So I guess the main objective is that we've created this beautiful homely community space that just supports a whole range of our beautiful community. So our aim with Healed Tribe is to obviously reduce the stigma and promote prevention of mental health concerns, to educate the community around mental illness and mental health and how we can support in that space, and to support our young people who are struggling in that space. So Connect is an initiative that I began just post-COVID, and that came from a place of obviously us having a disconnection during that time of isolation, and also a space of me really wanting to come together as women to share stories. The rates of mental health concerns are really rising, and there's a lot of us that just don't understand, and if we don't understand, then how can we support? If we all come together in a space of support and kindness, we can empower communities to support each other and create change.
This month is Someone's 1-year anniversary. They will be having $50 1-hour sessions. This will include massage, acutonics, and kinesiology services. There will also be free community events at the end of the month, which will include yoga and meditation classes to help teach us all to work through our stresses and find happiness within ourselves.
If you or someone you know is struggling with any of the topics mentioned, do not hesitate to reach out to White Ribbon, Lifeline, or a trusted friend. Mental health is a complicated subject, and it is extremely hard to navigate. We often feel alone, lost and worried, and scared to reach out for help. But there is help, and no one should feel ashamed to reach out. You are not alone, and if you are feeling isolated, helpless, or confused, we have gathered a few tips to help your mental health during these overwhelming times. Don't keep your feelings bottled up. Get plenty of sleep, eat healthily, and drink lots of water. Do the things you love. Put yourself first, and talk to others often. Seek out a trusted friend or professional. There are always friends on the Gold Coast. I've recently had the opportunity to experience the impact of Rosie's Friends on the Street on those who are struggling in the community.
Rosie's, it's about community, I think. It's there's a couple of different arms of Rosie's. There's the Rosie's mission, which we go out to the homeless and people that probably just want to talk, who are lonely. We don't sort of discriminate. Part of the Rosie's prayer is about being with them and being part of their lives. You try not to judge or discriminate. So we give out food on outreach and just there to lend a helping hand or here to listen to them.
For me, Rosie's main mission is about friendship. It's about reaching out to people who are marginalised in our society, people who are vulnerable, people who may be just lonely. And those people come from all walks of life, so we don't discriminate at Rosie's. Rosie's is about grabbing a cuppa, sitting down, having a chat with those people, and really listening to their stories. And our mission in doing that is to create a sense of belonging and a sense of community that a lot of people find is missing in their lives.
I suppose I was fortunate. I've had a pretty good life and wanted to give back to the community. So, as I said before, Rosie's is about giving back to the community and helping, those that are homeless and not necessarily homeless either, but might be on hard times or just lonely and there's a sort of a like-minded community feel when you're on outreach and talking to people. So.
Friendship.
Conversation. Support. Caring.
Giving.
Wow, I can't believe all the good Rosie's is doing for the community. But for now, let's talk about what's been happening on the Gold Coast. Sarah, I believe you went to the Carrara Drive-Ins last week.
I did. I went to the Disney Drive-Ins. It was a great way to re-experience some of the Disney classics. The staff were amazing. There was so much food and it was a big turnout. Really popular.
Okay, well, let's now cut to Sarah's time at the Drive-Ins.
The Disney Drive-In Movies, presented by Open Air Cinemas, is the ultimate drive-in experience, running from the 9th of May to the 1st of June at the Carrara Sports Precinct. With so many movies to choose from, there is sure to be a movie for everyone. You can revisit your childhood watching classic Disney movies, sing along to some musicals, or be immersed in the more modern-day adrenaline-jumping movies. So come on down, grab some snacks, and enjoy a movie from the comfort of your own car.
Here's what else is happening on the Gold Coast. We have Amy Shark playing at the Home of the Arts. We have the Cooley Rocks On Festival for all the lovers of rock and roll. And we also have the Common Grounds Festival at the Miami Marquetta. Do you girls think you'll attend?
Well, I do love the Miami Marquetta. It has a great vibe and I wouldn't mind going down with the girls for a cocktail or two.
Very nice. I do love live music. I can't wait to go to see Amy Shark. I think she's going to really rock it this year. Now let's get into the news of the week. Securing a rental property has been very difficult for all Gold Coasters as rental vacancy rates continue to reach unprecedented all-time lows. Young people are finding it particularly difficult to enter the property market. Here's Samantha Wells with the report.
Gold Coast rental vacancy rates are reaching unprecedented all-time lows as the rental crisis continues to unfold. Queensland is home to the highest proportion of renters in Australia, with every 1 in 3 residents renting their home. But now, many will be facing homelessness if they are unable to secure a property to rent.
With such a high demand for properties and very low vacancy rates, it is clear that securing a rental is no easy task.
So when my partner and I, Jack, were applying for properties, we probably applied for over 30, but it took about 3 months for us to finally get approved.
Experts at the Real Estate Institute of Queensland are calling for the government to realise the state of the vacancy rates and the emerging housing crisis they are causing.
One of the facts that we can't avoid, there is an inadequacy within the social housing sector. It's not fulfilling the demands that are placed on it. And the government is clearly relying far more on the private rental sector than it should be.
Both the ACT and New South Wales have started making changes to their stamp duty laws. The Real Estate Institute of Queensland believe it is time for Queensland to start doing the same while the property market is so constricted.
The cost of stamp duty and the fact that the home buyers grant didn't apply to already established homes was a big deterrent to buying a home.
It is clear that young Queenslanders are eager and ready to enter the property market. They just need a helping hand.
Samantha Wells, The Source News, Gold Coast.
Increased demand for Contacting Kids Helpline reached an all-time high during the COVID-19 crisis, with many high school students feeling the consequences of the pandemic.
Eliza Bishop was one of the many teens that experienced the full impact of lockdown.
COVID-19 restrictions meant isolation from friends and family, virtual learning, and the cancelling of important school and personal activities.
When a lot of things that you look forward to get cancelled, it really messes with your head and you don't really have that motivation anymore.
Many adolescents struggled with the lockdown, and new research from the Australian Institute of Suicide Prevention, Your Town, and the University of Melbourne revealed an increased demand for Kids Helpline. The study revealed the negative psychological and emotional effects the pandemic is causing on adolescents. Teachers experienced firsthand the sudden change for students.
School is their escape, and they don't, that escape's taken away from them during a lockdown.
The reasons why adolescents contacted Kids Helpline are extensive, but there is no doubt the sudden change of their schooling environment impacted many students.
Working on their own, not seeing their friends, so even that social aspect of coming to school and not having their friends to talk to.
The majority of adolescents being disconnected from their friends, their support network, who were incredibly important to them through those years, had a very profound impact on their mood and their coping.
The need for professional help has been overwhelming.
We are inundated, and every psychologist I know are booked out.
Giving insight into the importance of ensuring adolescents have an outlet where they can reach out for help. This is Sarah Parkin, The Source News.
Some Gold Coast op shops are taking the initiative to combat textile waste from their stores by developing new systems to recycle unsold items. Josie Hinkst reports.
Over 12,000 tonnes of textile waste are put into landfills on the Gold Coast each year. Over 3,000 tonnes come from unsold second-hand store items discarded by Gold Coast op shops.
This textile waste takes years to break down, often releasing toxic dyes and landfill pollutants like methane into the atmosphere, as well as entering local waterways and littering green spaces here on the Gold Coast.
To combat such waste, a select few Gold Coast op shops are developing certain initiatives to recycle unsold items from their stores.
Here at the Salvation Army, we are actually developing a scanner which sorts garments into their fabric categories to be sent off to recycling facilities and turned into new fabrics. And this is to reduce our textile waste footprint and has actually been quite successful.
St Vincent de Paul's, or Vinnie's, has a program called Bag of Rags, where unsold textiles are recycled and bagged as rags to be used by companies across the state and on the New South Wales coast. These new initiatives allow Gold Coast residents such as Ellie Morley Buchanan to continue to op shop in confidence.
Because I just got more environmentally conscious about fast fashion, things like that. Didn't want to put more textiles into the world than needed. I gather them all into a bag. I'll bring it to my local op shop and donate it straight to them. And I'll bring it inside to make sure it actually goes into the store as well.
With such programs being implemented, second-hand shoppers and residents can be confident that their second-hand textiles are not harming the environment and can therefore continue to op shop and donate with confidence.
Now to Mel with this week's sport report. Mel, how did the Broncos fare this week?
Magic round was last week for the NRL, with Broncos getting beaten 50-6 by the Manly Sea Eagles. The Penrith Panthers continued their winning streak, beating the Gold Coast Titans 46-12. The Melbourne Storm beat the Dragons 44-18, and the Bulldogs narrowly missed out on a win by the Canberra Raiders, beating them by 2 points. Tonight, the Broncos take on Sydney Roosters and the Raiders versus the Melbourne Storm in Canberra. In AFL news, a Gold Coast Suns player, Nick Holman, has been banned for 2 rounds after a rundown tackle on Mitch Duncan, which left the Geelong star concussed. That's all for sport. Back to you, Josie.
Thanks, Mel. Let's now go to Sam to hear about the weather.
Thanks, Josie. It's going to be partly cloudy here today on the Gold Coast with some southwesterly winds. We should be expecting tops of 22 degrees with a very slight chance of rain in some places across the coast. Hopefully not too chilly overnight, with the temperature only dropping down to 17 degrees. Logan will be ever so slightly warmer during the day, expecting a top of 23 degrees. They should certainly see some sun amongst the clouds. Brisbane City is anticipating the same, with a slightly warmer high of 24 degrees at 1 p.m. These partly cloudy but cool conditions are expected to hang around this week as winter draws closer. Back to you, Josie.
Thanks, Sam. I'll make sure to pack a jumper.
During the show, we have talked a lot about mental health. As a final reminder, no one should feel guilty asking for help or taking the time to focus on themselves. Girls, what are some of the things you guys do when you feel overwhelmed?
Well, one of the things I do if I fixate on a situation too much or if I'm feeling really overwhelmed is I think of one animal. Usually it's a white bunny, and I imagine all of its features. So I start from its ears, its cute little fluffy ears, and I go down its cute little eyes and its little nose, and I just focus solely on that animal. And even if it gives me relief for a few minutes, just to ground myself and not think about the things that are really stressing me out at that moment. But yeah, I recommend anyone just to fixate on something, even if it's a cute little coffee mug. It's easy to do, and I think it will help.
That's a beautiful way to calm yourself. I know that I like to focus on my breathing, always taking a deep breath in, holding it for 3 to 5 seconds, and letting it out slowly. I know that this always grounds me and lets me continue with any task that is in front of me.
Lovely, that's amazing.
And I find it's always helpful to talk to a friend or a parent or even a sibling, just to let out those feelings and not hold them in, so you're not really tense and stressed all the time, and you can rely on somebody else to help you through what you're going through.
Amazing.
Well, that's all we have time for today's show. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you have enjoyed all the fascinating topics we have discussed today. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Put the kettle on. We'll see you then.
Bye for now.
We'll see you tomorrow morning.